next we have a very popular poet, Dr. Joe Barbarese, who is going to read from the work of a poet, the Persian mystical poet Rumi, who is still very popular in this country. So.
I was looking at the dates here. I didn't realize that Rumi was a near contemporary of Dante. And I'm teaching Dante's Inferno right now. And if you know the poem, think about Dante for a moment. Imagine that these two people occupied the planet at the same time, these two sensibilities. Love is longing and longing, the pain of being parted. No illness is rich enough for the distress of the heart. A lover's lament surpasses all other cries of pain. Love is the royal threshold to God's mystery. The carnival of small affections and polite attachments, which litter and consume our passing time, is no match for love, which pulses behind this play. It's easy to talk endlessly about love. To live love is to be seized by joy and bewilderment. Love is not clear-minded, busy with images and argument. Language is too precocious, too impudent, too sane, to stop the molten lava of love which churns the blood. This practicing energy burns the tongue to silence. The knowing pen is disabled. Servile paper shrivels in the fire of love. Bald reason, too, is an ass explaining love, deceived by spoilt lucidity. Love is dangerous, offering no consolation. Only those who are ravaged by love know love. The sun alone unveils the sun to those who have the sense to receive the senseless and not turn away. Cavernous shadows need the light to play, but light and light alone can lead you to the light alone. Material shadows weigh down your vision with dross, but the rising sun splits the ashen moon in half. The outer sun is our daily miracle in timely birth and death. The inner sun dazzles the inner eye in a timeless space. Our daily sun is but a working star in a galaxy of stars. Our inner sun is one, the dancing nuance of eternal light. You must be set alight by the inner sun. You have to live your love, or else you'll only end in words.
Okay, now we have another poem of Rumi read by Caitlin Momin.
Okay, this is called D1. There are so many selves swimming like eels in the liquid of my mind. So many fickle impressions. Which one is me? Listen to my nonsense. Be patient. Don't try to muzzle my foaming mouth. I'm not in control. Don't plate me in with the glass of your comments and easy concern. I'll shatter and crush it into sand. I can't help it. I am a cipher for your moods. When you're filled with joy, the zero I am is impressed with pleasure. When you're dark, I become dark as a cave. It's always the same. Your bitterness is my brine. Your sorrow is my fatal grief. When I am with you, I am your lofty sky, your placid sea, your anchored reality. I'm too created in this occupied body. I am nothing but a mirror in your palm reflecting the play of your fingers. I take on the skin of your feelings. You are the cypress in the garden of our being. I am its obedient shadow. I am a servant of the rose setting up house beside it. If I act without you, my hands are torn by thorns, caked with ashes. With you, the thorns and ashes become rose petals and jasmine composed with perfume. At each instant, my heart pumps blood for you. The vessel of my very body is fragile crystal love of you. Every second, my fingertips stretch out to trace your face, so you may burn my skin, rip open the garments of my soul. I am a beggar who has received the silver grace of Shalauddin, which controls my constricted heart like a mountain stream. He is the light, the glowing flame illuminating the world. But who am I? From the yearning curvature of my soul, I know I'm simply his bull.
There's a wonderful 13th century Persian poet called Sadi, and he wrote a collection of stories and poems called The Rose Garden, and in which he offers some very unusual perspectives on religious belief and practice. And so here Farogh is going to read out a couple of his little stories.
Okay, story 7. I remember being in my childhood pies, rising in the night, addicted to devotion. One night I was sitting with my father, remaining awake, and holding the beloved Quran in my lap. The people around us were asleep. I said, "Not one of these persons lifts up his head or makes a genuflection. They are as fast asleep as if they were dead." He replied, "Darling of thy father, would that thou wert also asleep rather than despising people." The pretender sees no one but himself, because he has the veil of conceit in front. If he were endowed with a God-discerning eye, he would see that no one is weaker than himself. Story 14. A fellow with a disagreeable voice happened to be reading the Quran when a pious man passed near and asked him what his monthly salary was. He replied, "Nothing." He further inquired, "Then why take thou this trouble?" He replied, "I am reading for God's sake." He replied, "For God's sake, do not read. If thou readst the Quran thus, thou wilt deprive the religion of splendor."
You know, there's a voice from 700 years ago telling us that religion has to be beautiful. Okay, so there's another Persian mystical poet called Hafez. It seems like they have a lot of mystics. And Dr. Barbarese is going to read one of his poems.
Why lose your soul? To win this world and lose my soul in grief, but for one precious breath, the price is high and dear. And if I sell my holy robe to gain a flask of wine, the wine is bought at a bargain price. O cloistered saint, pray, if you sell your prayer mat within the vintner's place to buy a cup of wine, the barter finds the vintner's trade a loss. The gain is yours. The vintner's hand should ne'er exchange one cup of wine for all the prayer mats of holy saints. Beware, my soul. The luster of the royal crown may have its lure for sure, but not for long, so seek it not. 'Tis but a sorry trade to lose one's head to then win a headless crown. The lusts of this deceiving world are like the stormy seas. The greed for shining gems beneath the waves may lure our souls, but mark, this lure for gain may lead to pain in fatal storms. Beware, 1,000 pearls are worth as naught if whirled and tossed, the diver's soul is lost within the ocean's subtle self. O sly, capricious girl, conceal your face behind your veil. Reduce for mercy's sake the sighs of anxious souls. Your joy to win a world of longing hearts may but unfairly match the lover's heart in fatal grief. Abandon, friends, this world's deceiving lures and join Hafez. Contentment seek. Remember this. To gain a ton in gold and kiss the dusty feet of those debased in mind and soul, or pay for gold a grain of thanks, the price is high. Contentment is eternal gold to earn and hold.
Okay, we now move into modern times, and Dr. Ellen Malenas Ledoux is going to read a poem from the modern Persian poet Farrokhzad.
I will greet the sun once again. I'll give greetings to the sun once again, to the stream that flowed within me, to the clouds that were my tallest thoughts, to the painful growth of aspens in the garden who endured the seasons of drought with me, to the flock of crows who as a gift brought the field's nocturnal scent to me, to my mother who lived in a mirror and revealed the figure of my old age, and to the earth whose burning womb I filled with green seeds in my lust for repetition. I come with my hair exuding the smells beneath the earth with my eyes, thick with experiences of gloom, with the bouquet of greens I picked from the wood. On the other side of the wall I come, the threshold fills with love, and I, on the threshold, will greet once again those who love, and the girl still standing on the threshold filled with love.
And there's another poem by Farrokhzad, which is going to be read by Sarah Skochko.
This is called Another Birth. All my existence is a dark verse, which repeating you in itself will take you to the dawn of eternal blossoming and growth. I have sighed to you in this verse. In this verse I have grafted you to tree and water and fire. Perhaps life is a long street on which a woman with a basket passes every day. Perhaps life is a rope with which a man hangs himself from a tree. Perhaps life is a child returning from school. Perhaps life is lighting a cigarette in the languid interval between two embraces, or the mindless transit of a passerby who tips his hat and with a meaningless smile says good morning to another passerby. Perhaps life is that thwarted moment when my gaze destroys itself in the pupil of your eyes, and in this lies a sensation which I will mingle with the perception of the moon and the discovery of darkness. In a room the size of one loneliness, my heart, the size of one love, looks at the simple pretexts of its happiness and the fading of the beauty of the flowers in the vase, at the sapling you planted in the garden of our house, at the song of the canaries that sing the size of one window. Ah, this is my lot, this is my lot. My lot is a sky which the hanging of a curtain steals from me. My lot is descending an abandoned stair to find something in decay and exile. My lot is a grief-stricken walk in the garden of memories, and surrendering my soul in the sadness of a voice that says to me, I love your hands. I plant my hands in the garden. I will grow green, I know, and in the hollows of my ink-stained fingers, swallows will lay eggs. On my ears I hang earrings of twin red cherries and stick dahlia petals on my nails. There is a street where, still, the boys who loved me, with the same tousled hair, slender necks, lanky legs, think of the innocent smile of a girl whom one night the wind bore away. There is a street which my heart has stolen from the scenes of my childhood. The journey of a form on the line of time, and with a form, impregnating the dry line of time, a form aware of an image which returns from the party of a mirror, and it is thus that someone dies and someone remains. In the shallow stream that flows into a ditch, no fisher will hunt a pearl. I know a sad little fairy who takes abode in the ocean and plays her heart on a wood-tipped flute, softly, softly, a sad little fairy who dies from a single kiss at night and will be born with a single kiss at dawn.